absolutely perfect up here right now. This is cool. This is right here. It's actually a moose trail, according to the sign. And I don't know what it is when you read little sayings like that, but they always sound better in French. I don't know what it is. Good morning from the town of Saint-Anne-des-Monts, here on the north coast at La Haute Gaspésie. Today we're heading up into the mountains to go hike Gaspésie National Park. The fall colors look like they're really popping up here today, so the sun's out. It should be a great day. So we're going to hike le sentier Mont Ernest Laforce, which is one of the more popular hiking trails in Gaspésie National Park. It's about 9 kilometers down this dirt road, the trailhead is, and the hike itself is about 4.5 kilometers round trip, and the top of the mountain has an absolutely breathtaking 360-degree lookout, belvedere, whatever you want to call it. Well, here we go. Le sentier Mont Ernest Laforce. This is cool. This is right here. It's actually a moose trail, according to the sign. Here's where the trail splits to make the little loop up to the summit. Well, thankfully the folks at SAPAC here were kind enough to put a suggested route sign right here. And you can even get a nice little view of some of the ridges there. Yeah, let's take a minute and check out this view that's behind me now. But yeah, and these deep reds here with the ground cover are really, really pretty, especially when contrasted with the green from the pine trees. But yeah, and this trail is still just it's a really nice gentle incline, easy walking. Ooh, there's a scenic lookout stop right here. Beautiful bench and everything. And the summit is actually just right up there behind me, so. All right, let me read you this sign here that's on a rock up at the summit here. It says, "Rassasiez-vous, get even more. Respirez profondément. Breathe deeply. Contemplez les formes, les couleurs. Contemplate the forms and the colors. Ressentez le vent, feel the wind. Écoutez, listen. Humez tous les arômes, smell all the aromas. Goûtez de tous vos sens, taste with all your senses." That's a pretty darn good motto for up here, because it's absolutely perfect up here right now. And here we are at the summit. Well, it's a pretty spectacular spot, the summit of Mont Ernest Laforce. We're gonna start working our way back down now. It is 2.1 kilometers back to the trailhead. There's no shortage of views from up here. But yeah, there's plenty of these beautiful scenic lookouts on both sides of this trail going up and down, and make sure you stop and soak in the views, because even if you only dedicate half a day to this hike, you still got plenty of time to sit and soak in the views, and you can take as much time as you want. And here we are back at the trailhead and the parking lot. And one other thing you may have noticed while we've been here at Gaspésie National Park is that if you've looked at some of the signs that I've been showing you, you may notice they're all in French and there's no English. And that is because this, unlike Forion, which was a Parks Canada facility, this is SAPAC. Administers this park, and SAPAC is Parks Quebec. And because French is the only official language recognized here in the province of Quebec, they're not required to put English on their signs. So the important signs do actually have English on them, but other than that, everything is in French. And if you go in and try and speak to the park staff in English, they will do their best to help you. I mean, I speak to them in French, so I really don't know, but you know, they want to help you, and you know, they'll do their best they can. But knowing a little bit of French certainly goes a long way. All right, so we are right here at Mont Ernest Laforce. I think the plan is to come back and drive down to this lookout here, Le Brûlé. And then we'll backtrack out 16 into the main highway, out and come down this Highway 11 here, which will take us down to the lakes. And look at this! Not too shabby a lookout. So I'm not sure which one it is, but one of those two peaks behind me there is Mont Ernest Laforce, which is the mountain we just hiked up. And we're gonna go do that Highway 11, which takes us down to the lakes of Gaspésie National Park. So we'll see you there. And you know, you also think about the hordes and the mobs of people that descend on places like Vermont this time of year for the fall colors, but like up here at Gaspésie, they're just as beautiful, the fall colors are, and there's nobody around. I've got this entire place to myself right now, and it's beautiful. See the first of our lakes. Yeah, it's definitely pretty peaceful down here. Wish I could stay longer, but we got to hit the road and get to where we need to be tonight. We have now turned around. We're going to make our way back out to the main highway and continue on to Matan, where we will spend the night tonight. Yeah, so Route 11 here is in nowhere near as good a shape as the route, I believe it's 16, the one that goes out to Mont Ernest Laforce. So you're generally be going about 30 to 40 kilometers an hour tops on this, and with it being 20 kilometers to get out to the end, you're looking at probably about 30 to 40 minutes to drive it from the main highway to the end. But it is absolutely spectacular, and I highly recommend that you take the time and do it, because a little bit of the lakes that we've seen here are it's a pretty gorgeous setting. So we are back out to the main highway, which will just about wrap up our adventure through Parc National de la Gaspésie, or Gaspésie National Park. This is a pretty much must visit place if you're up at La Gaspésie. It is an absolute outdoorsman's paradise year-round. Whether you're into hiking, biking, snowshoeing, skiing, whatever, they've got it up here. So we're heading back to the coast now to Saint-Anne-des-Monts, and we're going about 100k down to the town of Matan, where we will spend the night tonight. Next time, set off on a stunning scenic drive along La Gaspésie's iconic North Shore, La Haute Gaspésie. A cross between the California coast and down east Maine, you'll soon find yourself in one of the most beautiful places, not just in Quebec, but in all of North America. That's funny. The park rangers drive Ford Rangers here, so we've got a ranger and a ranger.